I really like this post here. I did not too long ago. It said here, you don't need to be born again to be or to do good. But you do need to be born again to get into heaven, since heaven is reserved for those who have been born twice and not for those who are good or those who do good. Now listen, I know a lot of people, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people that are not born again, and maybe they'll never be born again. And you know what? They act a whole lot better than a lot of Christians that I know. All right? They do good. And they're not even trying to earn anything from God because they don't even believe in God. All right? They're just good because they were brought up that way. You know, there are people out there that are brought up good, you know, and they were brought up with morals, morality, ethics, whatever. They're hard workers. They don't cheat on the job. They don't backbite. They don't speak against their boss. They don't leave early. They don't start late. They don't watch porn. They're against corruption, etc., etc., etc. They do good to their neighbors, etc., etc., etc. They're good with their children. They're good with their wives. You know, they don't cheat on their wives. All right? Yeah, they do good, and they are good. They're not going to get into heaven. No, they're not going to get into heaven unless they get born again. All right? But I'm just trying to make my point that you don't have to be born again to be good. You don't. But you got to be born twice, born again, to get into heaven. All right? Because heaven is reserved for those who are born again. Now, listen to this. If you think that you can be a Christian and do evil or not do good and not pay some kind of, not give an account for that, well, then you don't know what the word says. All right? Because God sees everything. All right? He sees everything. All right? And he takes notes. Because in Revelations 20, it says the books, not just the book of life, but the books were opened and their works, for their works. Now, he's talking about the heathens there, but also there's books written about us today too, because in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, it says that some, they're going to lose their rewards, their works are going to be burned up, but they're going to be saved as if by fire. That, if you don't believe me, go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 13 to 15. All right? So, you know what? You don't have to be good. You don't have to be born again to do good, to be good. All right? That is proven over and over and over again. All right? But that doesn't mean they're going to get into heaven, because they're not. If they don't get born again, if they're not born twice. All right? So, shalom and amen.